Grada Robertson here. And tonight I want to take you through some practices that will help you feel a lot more relaxed in yourself. Oh, sorry, I can hear Freddy. That's Freddy is my dog, and something is going on in the kitchen area. So I hope that you can just ignore Freddy and tune into the message that I have tonight. So tonight I want to focus on fear, what fear does, how it interferes in our lives, and how you can build a good, positive relationship with fear so that you stay in the flow. And when we say you stay in flow, we mean what I mean is the flow of life force, the flow of energy, the flow of good feelings, the flow of money, the flow of abundance, the flow of health. These are all things that are blocked by fear, because fear has like a constrictive nature, right? So fear, if we would allow fear to just run its course, it constricts us and it makes us tense, and it tenses up not only our body but also the energetic movement towards us. So we're not receiving as much abundance. This morning I had a workshop with women, and this is all about becoming abundant in every area of your life, and how to attract money, how to multiply your money using the feminine principles of making money. So there are different principles that we can use to make money, right? And money, of course, is a symbol of our freedom and abundance. But so fear has a tendency to make it harder for us. It's like driving the car around with the brakes on. That's what fear does in our body as well. But at the same time, we can't just go and squash fear down and resist it, because for two reasons. What you resist persists. So whatever you resist starts to build up energy, and it gets harder and harder to squash it down. And it will bite you in the bum. It will suddenly hit you in the face really strong and create a big mess. So what you persist resists. But having said that, fear has a really, really good reason to be in our lives. And I'll explain that a little bit to you. And I love explaining about this, by the way, because fear used to run my life. I had such a struggle with fear. Actually, for probably a whole decade, I had symptoms of PTSD. And this is after I got hit by a truck and I was paralyzed, and I had to overcome huge physical obstacles to get my life back. And then I got mental illness. I spent time in a psychiatric hospital. I had to overcome panic disorder. So that was when fear had completely taken over my nervous system. It was just literally scorching my nervous system all day and all night, right? So I had to come back from that as well. So when I talk about fear, I want you to know that I've bled in the trenches and I know what I'm talking about. Even before I got hit by a truck, I had periods in my life. When I look back, of course, I can see it, that I had like periods of real intense anxiety, but mostly at night. So during the day I was fine, but then at night it would hit me. So that was already a kind of a warning symptom that I ignored. And of course, then when I got hit by a truck and I ended up all broken, and then I had to find the way back out of the forest, right? And mental illness, of course, I have deep respect for anyone who struggles with mental illness, because like I said, I've been there myself, and it's incredibly, incredibly harrowing. It's as harrowing as literally physically being hit by a truck, and I know what that feels like as well, right? So it's not something that I wish on anyone. So tonight I want to give you some insight. The aim of this session is that you get more relaxed around fear, that you build up a more positive friendship with it, so that your life you start to increase a lot of good things in your life, like good energy, right? And you feel stronger and happier. So if you think of fear, that's on the same spectrum as love. So like on one end you have fear, on the other end you have love, right? And so inside our body, in the cells, in the spaces of our body, we either have fear or love. Get it? So, and of course we feel much better and happier and our life is amazing when we can increase the love. So I'm going to teach you how to do that as well tonight. So if fear is here, that means automatically our love meter is down, right? Our joy meter, how much love we feel, is down. And if we increase love, fear goes down. So one way as well to overcome fear is by not focusing on it. So I'm not saying push it away though, but focus on how you can increase self-love. So I'm going to give you some hints about that as well. So first I want to take you into the history of fear. Fear starts when we're like nine weeks in the mom's tummy, like 9 weeks of gestation. So you're only about the size of 2 jelly beans maybe. This is the first time that fear is released in your body, and fear is there as an early warning sign to keep you safe. And our whole entire nervous system is built on top of what we call that fear paralysis, or it's also called the fear reflex. That's the technical term. So literally the foundation of our nervous system is fear-based, and not many people perhaps know that. So it's there for a good reason. You can never remove it. It basically is part of our life, but we need to know. We need to know that it's in the right seat, not in the driver's seat all the time. When I had my near-death experience after I got hit by the truck, I left my body, and so that meant I left my nervous system behind as well. And for the first time in my life, then well, that's a funny way of saying it, but I remember just feeling so joy-filled, fully loved, fully at peace, 100% calm. I was being held in the arms of God, you could say, or the cosmos or the universe, because there was no fear. And so that's when I realized fear is an illusion. It's, in a sense, a lie, right? We can't let it run the show. You can't live a fear-based life, because you're going to miss the whole point of your life. And so for those moments that I was out of my body, I had a completely different experience of life as me, because I was still me, and because obviously I hadn't died, but I was close to it. And so that really gave me a huge reset. It was like somebody pressed the reset button. It gave me a different impression of life. And so when I came back, well, then of course I was back in my body, I was back in a nervous system, I was in a lot of pain and trauma, and of course that set me up later on for mental health issues. Okay, so what do you do when fear jumps out at you, right? Well, let's just do that now. So I want you to think of something fearful, something that makes you feel stressed. So another word of fear is stress, anxiety, worry, and fixation. Fixation means like I can't stop thinking about it, and you keep pumping out the fear hormones. Now, I'm here to tell you as well that your brain or your nervous system pumps out those fear hormones for 90 seconds, and then it stops. And then your body is meant to relax. That's a natural state of your body. But if there are stories going on in your body, and we all have many, many stories, your body will pump out another 90 seconds and another one and another one. And before you know it, your body has been, pumping out fear and stress hormones for hours, weeks, days, and years. Some people live in fear for years. And it's like a physical thing. It's become a physical thing. So the first thing I want you to do, this is something I learned at a kind of an intensive brain gym course. I've done many courses over the years. So you just fold your hands like this and your arms like this if you can. and you rest them on your chest. This is very calming for your nervous system, and it gives your nervous system a signal to say, hey, I'm safe, there is no danger, just calm down. And it's literally like a signal, so it calms down that fear reflex. So just do that now. And then the second thing that's very calming is when you inhale through the nose, suck all that air from your belly, and then breathe out and relax your shoulders. That's also deep breaths is another signal to your body that there is no danger. I'm not in any danger. There are no bulldogs chasing me, or the house is not on fire, right? So just do that for a minute. Really tune into your body and relax. So fear, you can keep doing this while you listen to me, because I like to explain a little bit more about fear. If you're actually not in a physical danger and you have fear running the show, sometimes it means that your life is out of alignment, and like in a spiritual, could have a spiritual message for you, and the message is like, hey, you are disconnected from your true purpose, or you are wasting your time doing this job, or you need to step out of this relationship, or you need to change your diet. So fear can literally be an indicator, like it's banging on your door, for you to create positive changes. So just do this again. And breathe out. And literally, you can lie down at night in bed and spend 10 minutes like this. And you can support your arms, like put cushions on the arms, and feel your body not only relax, but what it starts to do, it starts to create new neural pathways that promote calm and peace and harmony, and that save your sanity, right? So you can do this, you can do multiple things at the same time for your nervous system to recover. So this is one. Also, you need to cross your legs then as well. Get really comfortable in bed, and then you can listen to meditation while you do this. And on top of that, you can use your breathing, like deep breathing into your belly, because fear often resides in the belly. And this is just one way you're pulling out all the plugs, literally, to restore your nervous system, to regenerate your nervous system, to regulate your nervous system. These days we're hearing a lot of words like, I have a dysregulated nervous system, and it simply means your nervous system can't switch from fight and flight back into a relaxed self, right? Due to, for various reasons, traumas mostly. So that's all I'll say about fear today. So fear, you can't make it go away, because it's part of you. It's one of the early, and it's there to protect you. You can build a loving relationship with it. Like you just notice, where does it sit in my body? So you go like this. That's very calming. That gets you out of the fight and flight. Just be curious. See if you have, if it's safe enough, if you have enough capacity left in your nervous system to be curious and compassionate. Like where does it sit? What's it telling me? And just even watch it, notice it from a distance. That's already helping you as well. So once fear goes back into its rightful place in the background, everything starts to flow for you again, and you can experience abundance. And so then the second thing, of course, what I explained before, like if this is fear and that's love, and fear is here, we can pull that down. That automatically means love comes up, right? So many people, like millions, if not billions of people in the world, have no concept about self-love. It's not something that's been promoted as a good thing, not until recently actually. And so I actually want you to know that you are unconditional love. Unconditional love runs your body. It runs your immune system. It makes your nails grow. It regenerates your hair, your skin. Unconditional love runs your subconscious mind. So when you go out in the sun, you get your skin starts to tan. And what are the things like? It makes your heart beat. It makes your stomach digest food. These are all functions that the body does for us. And ultimately what's behind it is the DNA, and the DNA is programmed by unconditional love. Like scientists today know that now. So you can make yourself healthier by increasing all forms of love, right? So like you can listen to YouTubes of 528 hertz, and you have that going in the background. Your cells, the cells of your body know that, and that gives your DNA a really good prime. Another way to love yourself more is by self-forgiving. So you just say things to yourself like, I forgive myself for whatever. Sometimes clients come to me and they've had really deep trauma and they can't forgive situations or people in their life, and yet they know it's hurting them more than the other person. So a good way to overcome this is by repeating the message. I forgive myself for not forgiving. Or you can say, I forgive myself for forgiving, because sometimes there's this real struggle going on. So just remember those sentences. You can write them down. I forgive myself for not forgiving. I forgive myself for forgiving, because sometimes, let's say, if you've been hurt by people, parts of your body don't want to forgive that person, but other parts of your body know that you're better off with forgiveness. So you just repeat this to yourself, and you can say, I love myself for forgiving. I love myself for not forgiving. I love myself for having forgiveness in my heart. I forgive myself for spending 3 hours on Facebook today. I forgive myself for drinking too much wine. I forgive myself that I'm still smoking cigarettes. I forgive myself that I work too hard. I forgive myself that I created an argument. So this is how you need to talk to yourself. That immediately gives you a sense of spaciousness and openness. So that's a form of self-love, right? So I'm explaining to you how you can love yourself easier. Is doing forgiveness work. Another way is by doing gratitude work. It's funny how we call that work, by the way. So it is work till it becomes natural. So it's first a bit of a conscious effort, and then it becomes an unconscious habit. Excuse me. So creating an attitude of gratitude, especially towards yourself, is really, really important. And that's another form of self-love as well. So often what I do, I wake up in the morning, I make sure my first thoughts are thoughts of gratitude, right? So what am I feeling grateful for today? Well, actually, I don't even have to think like that anymore, but that could be a good start. So it could be, okay, I'm so grateful that I woke up today. Because, there are millions of people who don't wake up today, right? They've passed over, they've moved over. I'm so grateful. I'm lying in my beautiful bed and I'm free to breathe the beautiful air in Tasmania. I'm so grateful that my bed feels so nice and soft. I'm so grateful for today, for this day, because there will never be another day like today. Never. Not in all of eternity. And I'm here to experience it. So that's how I talk to myself. That's how I think to myself. And I like to keep that up all day long. But if I fall off the cart, I just go, I love myself for feeling negative. I love myself for feeling judgy. I love myself for feeling ungrateful. I forgive myself for feeling ungrateful. And then straight away now I'm back to a different frequency. So I'm back closer to that frequency of unconditional love, which is when everything starts to flow. So this is how you need to take yourself by the hand. You literally have to create a new cheerleader on the block inside your pack of cheerleaders in your body, right? And we know that most of the voices in your head come from your parents, and their voices came from their parents. So and so on. So if you think of it logically, how you address yourself all day long is probably how your ancestors talked to themselves 1,000 years ago already, and nobody benefits from that. So especially not you. And we know that through all the dark ages and stuff, self-love was definitely not a thing that people promoted, or that they had concept about, according to the history that we are taught, right? So one, stop resisting fear, make friends with your fear. So notice it, welcome it in, sit with it, and just keep noticing it. You can even notice how you notice it, so you can watch it play out as a movie. That's really good as well. And then the second thing is increase your capacity to love, to feel love, to self-love. Just increase it by doing those little practices that I just told you. So gratitude is another form of self-love. Forgiveness is a form of self-love. Eating and drinking properly is, of course, like organic food, is a form of self-love. How you talk to yourself, who you surround yourself by. So like if you have toxic people in your life, you are under no obligation to spend time with toxic people, right? Unless perhaps they're your kids and you're the caretaker, that's a little bit different. So this is all different ways how you can build your capacity to increase that love. And as love increases, your fear meter will go down, your stresses will go down, your life starts to flow, your abundance will go up, you become more responsive to like good things, to real truth, your body gets a chance to reset itself. And you become a magnet for all good things in life. So I hope that you've enjoyed this and that it makes sense. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. And I am really looking forward to seeing you again next week. If you have any comments or questions, or you need any help, pop them in the comment or send me a personal message. And I'm really looking forward to you practicing good self-love and self-care and making friends with fear. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye for now.